I'm Mike Oxley, a proud alumnus of Miami University, and I'm thrilled to be part of the Isaac Oxley Center for Business Excellence and the Farmer School of Business. My partner in this endeavor is Bill Isaac, lawyer, former chairman of the FDIC, and an expert in banking and financial regulation. Bill and I met while we were students here at Miami in the 1960s. We both built careers in law and financial services, and now we're back together again in support of the Center for Business Excellence. I specifically want to recognize and congratulate CBE's co-founders, Brian Ballou and Dan Heidger, as well as Dean Matt Myers, for making the Farmer School of Business one of the nation's premier undergraduate business programs. With its new state-of-the-art facility, the Farmer School of Business is constantly ranked among the top 25 programs in the country. The mission of the Center for Business Excellence is an ambitious one to educate generations of business leaders who know how to create long-term organizational value. The center adds another dimension to the undergraduate business education that students receive at Miami. The goal is to improve organizational decision-making through stakeholder management with integrity, leadership, and transparency. Students who graduate from this program know more than their numbers. They'll start their careers with real business leadership experience, something that's sorely needed in the United States today. Many of you watching this video may be too young to know much about my record in financial services policy on Capitol Hill. I'd like to tell you a little bit about how I came to this calling. I was a congressman representing Ohio's 4th Congressional District on Capitol Hill, and in 2001, I was honored to be chosen as the chairman of the newly created Financial Services Committee in the House of Representatives. The economy and the markets were clipping along nicely. Individual investors were doing well. It was the age of the celebrity CEO. Little did I know that the rocky path was in front of me, my committee, and the U.S. economy. The horrific attacks of 9/11 happened at the Pentagon, in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and in the heart of New York's financial district. The capital markets were closed for several days as a result of the damage to the World Trade Center and surrounding areas. When the markets reopened, a steep market slide of historic proportions reflected a nation that was suddenly at war with an unknown terrorist enemy. We had barely begun to recover when Enron, the 7th largest company in America and the most successful and innovative energy companies, went bankrupt overnight. Enron simply collapsed. Other large bankruptcies followed, as well as accounting and corporate governance problems in dozens of American companies. Hundreds of white-collar criminals were prosecuted. Essentially, we had a small number of corrupt executives cooking the books and taking down what we thought were some of America's best companies. Between $8 and $12 trillion of market cap was lost during this time. Many investors lost their nest eggs, but many innocent employees lost their jobs and their pensions. It was a punch in the gut to every retirement account all over the country. Investor confidence was so shaken that it was literally a test of American capitalism. I knew there would have to be a solution that was national in scope. Federal legislation would have to be enacted to restore investor confidence through transparency and accountability. So my committee set to work on hearings. I got to know my Senate partner, Senator Paul Sarbanes of Maryland, and ultimately we enacted the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002. It was signed by President George W. Bush in the East Room of the White House that July. This is my personal signed copy of the act, which will be donated to the Isaac Oxley Center for Business Excellence and Farmer School of Business at Miami. The legislation raises standards for corporate governance and accounting, and investor confidence soon returned. Sarbanes-Oxley sent the message that scamming the investing public with fraudulent business practices would not be tolerated in the United States. The legislation has come to symbolize excellence, and integrity in business. And that is what the program here at Miami is all about. I've always stayed in touch with my alma mater, and the fine folks here in Oxford took the story to heart and took action. They want to create the business leaders of the future who have the values and the vision it takes to succeed honestly in today's economy. I see it as taking what we learned in the Sarbanes-Oxley era and carrying it into the future for these bright young students. What a tremendous contribution to publicly traded companies, to investors and shareholders, and to employees, retirees, and their families. Congratulations to all who have worked so hard to make the Center for Business Excellence a reality and a unique feature of the business curriculum here at the Farmer School of Business.